Hello, everyone, and welcome to Solshow. Today, I will be talking about M. Night Shyamalan's latest hit film, Old. And this had a very interesting premise. You take a family, you put them out on a beach. There's a lot of other strange and wacky characters out on that beach, and then suddenly you start to see a little couple things slip in here and there. You get to see some wrinkles form under the eyes of the characters, and the little children are suddenly getting a slightly bigger, and you're like, wait a second. We're all getting old. Yes, time moves faster in this select little beach. And if you try to leave the beach, you are just knocked unconscious. You just pass out and try to swim out. They have a reason for every trick in the book is why you can't leave the island. You're stuck here. You're forced to age. And at that point, it's just a social experiment of what do these 12 characters do when they're just constantly aging? And a lot of them are just trying to get out at the same time. A lot of them are just kind of accepting what is happening. It is a fight of mortality in the most human way possible. And the reception for this movie has been very interesting because, M. Night Shyamalan is a bit of a famed director with me and many other film critics. He has produced such hit classics like The Last Airbender, After Earth, The Happening, some of the greatest films to ever grace human eyes. And he has some other, maybe not as fond movies, The Sixth Sense, Signs, Split. Those movies not as well regarded, but some people like them. So you have these two very different sides of filmmaking by M. Night Shyamalan. I think his biggest thing is sometimes he tries to make projects that are just more than he can chew, and then sometimes he tries simple things. Sometimes he gets the simple things wrong. Lady in the Water comes to mind, but 9 times out of 10, The Visit, a simple movie, he can accomplish it. He has a lot of actual filmmaking skills. There is little payoffs to his films, cinematography choices. He is competent. There's just little script issues that are always in his films. And usually it's like two things. It is like these weird, quirky characters that just have the most horrendous dialogue. They'll say some stupid fucking shit. And for a lot of movies, it doesn't work, like Lady in the Water. But in this film, I think having these kind of more quirky characters, they're not obnoxiously quirky or different or obnoxious. They are a healthy amount of, abnormal or quirky. They're not hitting you over the head, and I think that is just the right level. However, one problem that is in all of M. Night's movies that does appear here is exposition dumps. Characters who just like to monologue about exactly what's happening. We don't leave anything out to the open, and that plagues this movie pretty bad. By the end of the movie, you know exactly what's happening. Every nook and cranny has been explored, and we really didn't need to do that. And they really do it in the ending. I think if you would have just cut the ending at 2 different spots, it would have been better. Even if you had a more sad ending that kind of pulled the rug out beneath the audience and kind of just left them like a lot of other horror movies do. Even that I think would have worked better. What we got was just kind of underwhelming on terms of the ending. And there is a very convenient, there is a moment where the mystery is solved and the conflict is solved. The way the conflict was solved was so lazy. I don't want to say lazy. It's just convenient. It's the most easy way out you could think of. And the other way was not much better. As far as all the characters, you have the family, the immediate family. They're going through marital problems. The kids are 6 and 10, and you're seeing them turn into teenagers and into parents. They were very interesting character studies. And then you have a doctor, and you think you'd want a doctor on the beach with you as you are rapidly aging, but the doctor's a fucking asshole, and he's off his rocker. You have all these different people who all have something wrong with them. There's something going on with each character. And yeah, some people are gonna die. Some moments of that were used very effectively. A lot of the times they're just trying to test the waters of on how to escape, and then they fail and then they die. Which makes you think that it adds to the helplessness. I'm not gonna lie, there was actual moments in this film that scared me. I don't mean like, oh, like ooh, ooh, ooh. I mean like I was like, fuck, like I was scared. I was scared at a specific moment in this movie in a cave. There's a character doing some weird shit with their arms. I was scared in the sense I was like afraid to look at the screen. And I never would have expected that walking into this film. But I can't lie, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I think I enjoyed this movie more than most people. A lot of people are giving this like, 5, 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it more than that. I think not only were the concept just so genius that it's kind of hard to fuck up, not only that, but those moments that actually scared me. And then I enjoyed the aging aspect, like how it was used. You have these kids that turn into teenagers and then they just keep getting older and older. And seeing that subtly happen was like each scene, you're just paying attention so much. And there's a lot of payoff to that. And the actors do a great job in actually selling that fact that they have a mind of a 6-year-old, but the body of a dying man. Those were actually really interesting facets of this movie. And I think the way that M. Night handles it is really good too. Like some parts are kind of awkward. There's like maybe a couple moments that were like, okay, like I can tell I'm watching a movie of people like changing out actors and doing little makeup jobs. Like sometimes it was obvious. Also, the beach was very inconsistent. Sometimes we cut and the water is just fucking destroying the beach. It's high tide and then it's not doing anything. And just like little landmark choices. I was like, my brain always likes to imagine like these worlds that I'm in there with them, but it's very it takes you out of the movie whenever you're faced with the realization that, oh yeah, this is a set. I'm on a set with actors. But one way the movie did really work for me was the sense of mortality. Because again, it is a character study. It's like, what would you do if you had like maybe a day or two to live before you just fucking die of old age, where every second counts and these people are on death's door before too long and you have to wrestle with that. It's crazy. And then there's still like the social climate that's still in there and these people are like still arguing. It's a very human movie at the end of the day and there's a lot of really good shit in here. There are those little M. Night quirks like the exposition and stuff. Like I wish I could just take his fucking script and like slap it in front of him. Just say like just do the simplest things, and this script would be such a cleanup job. But c'est la vie, as the movie is, I enjoy it. I think, like I said, I enjoyed it more than most people. I walked out of the theater like I was in a group of 3, and out of those 3, I was the only one that gave it the score I'm giving it now. I'm gonna give Old a 7 out of 10. It was a very enjoyable movie. I do think the twist, could have been handled better. There's certain choices that kind of bog it down, but I think the concept was so interesting, and M. Night is a competent filmmaker that he was able to pull it off. Certain things bothered me, but it is what it is. If you guys enjoy this review, I have plenty of other movie reviews. I've reviewed other M. Night films before. I know I've reviewed After Earth. That was a classic. Let me know your thoughts down below this one. Check out those videos. Thank you for watching. And until next time, with that, I leave you.